Whovians, hello. Welcome to another Who Universe news. As the day has finally come, we finally have the episode titles for the new series of Doctor Who, Series 2. I know BBC likes to call it Season 2, but we're going to call it Series 2 to be on the English term in terms of series naming. But of course, some of you will look at it as Series 15, and that's understandable. So whatever you want to refer it to, that's okay. But the regardless thing is, we now know the episode titles for this new series as the BBC were kind enough to give us a lowdown of the episode title names as they revealed yesterday from YouTube and other social platforms. So without further ado, let's find out what episode titles we are working with for Doctor Who in 2025. So the very first episode that you're going to see on Saturday the 12th, it'll be airing will be rolling out, in fact, around 8 a.m. exclusively on BBC iPlayer, or you can watch it traditionally on BBC One that night, depending on how you want to view it, will be referred to as the Robot Revolution. So those leaks that came out in January talking about an episode called the Robot Revolution, that was all true. Written by Russell. It is going to be releasing the 12th of April when we will see this very first episode. So that means some of the footage that back in January were essentially from that very first story were indeed real. Luckily, the BBC would have took it down by now, and luckily Disney Plus has done it as well. Hopefully not too much has been spoiled of it so far. That's going to be the episode where we will see Vanessa Self debut as Benedict Channer, who is the new companion joining the 15th Doctor on that very episode. The second episode, also written by Russell, so we get back-to-back weeks with Russell, and also this is the episode that's going to air on Easter Saturday, the 19th of April, part of Easter weekend, called Lurex. Not too sure where they're going with this. It's probably going to be, well, it's interesting because the background does sort of give out the vibes of that sort of cinema vibes that we saw in the filming last year when they were in that sort of old-fashioned these sort of funky outfits. It could be that episode. We'll have to wait and see. Then the next episode, which will air the following Saturday of that follows Easter weekend, and that is going to be 26th of April, so the very last Saturday of the month. We are getting an episode called The Well. Looks like that underwater episode is indeed happening. Written by Russell T Davies. He's also collaborating with Shazam Angel Walford, who is another new writer coming into Doctor Who, collaborating with Russell T, do this episode when it releases on the 26th of April. Then the next episode will be the first episode released in May on Saturday the 3rd, will be titled Lucky Day, and as you can see from the little tease they put out, Ruby Sunday's making a return in this very episode, written by Pete McTighe. And also another thing to note is you'll notice there were little bits of those newspapers, and one of those newspapers mentions about our unit keeping aliens in their headquarters title line. So I wonder if that's a hint towards what unit's involvement could be in Doctor Who this year. Perhaps there's some secrecy going on in unit that we don't know about yet. We will learn about throughout the new series. Just something to keep in mind, considering they're now putting out these newspaper articles regarding unit is in there. So maybe it could be a tease to the series, or perhaps the spin-off we will see later this year, or hopefully later this year or next year, depending on when they release it. Then, of course, the next episode, which will be airing on the 10th of April, will be referred to as The Story and the Engine, from another new writer, Inu Amelus, who is going to be the next writer. And this, by the way, will be the 5th episode of the series. The 6th episode, which is airing on the 17th of May, which just so happens to be, and if I'm right in saying this, going to be Eurovision weekend, which is quite funny if it is, because on that very day, we are getting a Doctor Who version of Eurovision referred to as the Interstellar Song Contest, where Ryland, yes, who is also going to be hosting the Eurovision for the BBC this year, along with Scott Mills and Graham Norton, to be featured as a guest appearance for Doctor Who in the Interstellar Song Contest transmission episode written by Juna Dawson, which is going to be kind of funny to see Ryland not once but twice potentially that weekend should Eurovision happen on the 17th of May, which is kind of crazy. We're going to get double Ryland that weekend, but there you go. But also it's interesting because this is also the episode where we can also suspect, where we should be expecting Mrs. Flood to show up, because she just so happens to be in the audience of this interstellar episode that we've been seeing clips of in the trailers recently. So this could be potentially the start of a three-parter, potentially. We'll have to, and you'll see what I mean when what I'm getting to, because the next episode that rolls out on the 24th of May is being referred to as Wish World. You start to wonder, because we get into episodes with Russell following the Interstellar episode, perhaps Mrs. Flood is going to tie in to those final two episodes in some way. So if that's the case, then we could be looking at a three-parter: Interstellar Song Contest into Wishing World, which will be the 7th episode, and then the final episode referred to as the Reality War, coming out May the 31st. So the very last day of May, they're going to be airing this. And it also kind of ties in with in some way, the teaser trailer that also has come out over the weekend. Kind of shows the May 2025 calendar page, some of the dates crossed out. It seems to be circling on the 31st of May, or at least that's what it seems to be circling. So if that's the case, then there's obviously some real world implications regarding May 31st, why they seem to be circling that date regarding this particular, well, could be related to this particular app that we're going to be seeing on that very day. But it's also ties in also with the reason why we've been seeing these broken down taxis from London, as well as the broken up Eiffel Towers and Statue of Liberties that have been seen in teaser trailers, could be related to this whole reality world warfare that's going to be going on in this series. Maybe something to do with Mrs. Flood, but we'll find out soon enough, because if it's indeed a three-parter, then that could only be one thing. It could be very similar to how they revealed the Master back in Series 3 in 2007. So if that's indeed what's happening, then maybe there's a big reveal happening regarding Mrs. Flood in 2025. Pretty big if this is indeed where we're headed. But nevertheless, that is some stuff to look forward to from the 12th of May. All the episode titles finally set, and now we're just waiting for the episodes to finally transmit. And yes, I will begin my reviews on Saturday the 12th of April, and they're going to be releasing following the BBC One's transmissions each Saturday, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to tune into. But it doesn't stop there for Doctor Who, however, because we do have some really cool, well, we have a really very DVD release, Blu-ray and Steelbook case release coming up. Doctor Who The War Games in color. If you saw it during Christmas, I'm sure you loved. Well, the good news is you can now this from the 21st of May. They're going to release a home video release of this thing where they're actually going to be adding some new special features. They'll be bringing along some special features from previous War Games release, which is the black and white version that they released a few years ago, and they're also going to include the black and white episodes in this release. But some of the new features in terms of special features are going to include model shot features, model making, Chris Haynes' interview with Radio Free Skaro, the newly discovered footage that they were talking about back in December, that is going to be featured as a special feature, so you'll get to see some of the new footages they were able to find for the War Games. And then you have the War Games in colour trailer that BBC iPlayer was transmitting, that never somehow did not get seen on the telly. Don't know why, but there you go. Easter egg, what a stupid fool you are. Yes, there's apparently that Easter egg being added, along with colour palettes, concept art, photo gallery, and a new audio commentary where Russell T Davies will be joined by Fraser Hines, Wendy Padbury, Benjamin Cook, Richard Timber, and Mark Arson to discuss about the colour version, the War Games. And it's going to be a 4-disc release when it comes out that very day. So yeah, and obviously this is the front cover, and this is the Steelbook cover art, which looks very, very nice for the War Games later at the end of next month, which is going to be great. And then we've also got some new books also coming for Doctor Who as well. They're going to be releasing the Monster Makers, Cybermen, The Ultimate Guide, The Art of Time and the Time Travel, and then the evolution of toy Daleks collecting throughout the years. So there'll be some of the books that you're going to be able to get your hands on this year. And there's even an exclusive range of figures coming from Character Options in 2025, because they've just announced the first of these exclusive 2025 releases, where they're going to have 5 of them coming out over the course of the year. The first one is featuring the 3rd Doctor, John Pertwee, with his outfit from the Daemons, 1971, as well as a Green Maggot from the Green Death, as well as the Crystal of Quran from Time Monster, and you actually get given the sonic screwdriver as part of the package as well, so you'll get your own 3rd Doctor screwdriver should you want to act like the third Doctor for like convention, comic cons and stuff. But yeah, this is now available to order from Character Options for the price of £45. If you want to, if you're able to afford it, then yes, it's available for you to get your hands on. And there's going to be some more versions of this to look forward to throughout the course of 2025. So definitely look out for some more Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver bundles coming later, which is a part of a Vortex edition that's going to be releasing over the course of this year. And there's bound to be other Doctor Who stars who are going to be as part of this package in 2025. I'm hoping we might get maybe a second Doctor version, so we can get our hands on the second Doctor's version of the screwdriver, which I know it doesn't look much like a screwdriver, but it'd be nice to have a toy replica of it. I think that would be really nice. And then hopefully I'm hoping we'll also see maybe an Eighth Doctor one as well. I think that would be kind of interesting to see the Eighth Doctor get his screwdriver finally released in toy form. And then maybe we'll get, considering the fact we've already seen updates to the 10th Doctor screwdriver, etc., I think it's going to be more classic based, I would imagine, this range, but you never know. We'll see what happens when Character Options reveals the rest of the plans for this year's Vortex Edition figure eight. And then, of course, Max Parker is also going to be joining Doctor Who in the new series, which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to read about Max Parker's excitement to joining Doctor Who in 2025. For the most part, the main piece of news really is the fact that we are going to be getting, we've got all the episode titles now. We're all set for the new series of Doctor Who as it finally gets ready for transmission in just a few short weeks from now. So not long to go. Then we'll finally have some new content for Doctor Who in 2025. So yeah, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for all the content to come. And yes, I will finally get round to that Celestial Toymaker review and the TV movie review before the Series 2 reviews kick in on the 12th of April. Stay tuned to those, and I'll see you all in the next. And yes, I am going to do a preview Doctor Who Series 2 as well. So see you then.